Chapter 4. The Qabalah, the best training for memory. Karasor, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Now you must learn Qabalah. Learn this alphabet of magic. You must take it on trust, as a child does his own alphabet. No one has ever found out why the order of the letters is what it is. Probably there isn't an answer. But our magical alphabet is primarily not letters, but figures, not sounds, but mathematical ideas. Sir Humphrey Davy, coming out of his famous illumination, with a little help of nitrous oxide he got in, exclaimed, "The universe is composed solely of ideas." We, analyzing this a little, say, the universe is a mathematical expression. Sir James Jeans might have said this, only his banker advised him to cash in on God. The simplest form of this expression is 0 equals 2, elsewhere expounded at great length. This 2 might itself be expressed in an indefinitely great number of ways. Every prime number, including some not in the series of natural numbers, is an individual. The other numbers, with perhaps a few exceptions, example 418, are composed of their primes. Each of these ideas may be explained, investigated, understood by means very various. First, the Hebrew, Greek, and Arabic numbers are also letters. Then, each of these letters is further described by one of the arbitrarily composed elements of nature, the 4 or 5 elements, the 7 or 10 planets, and the 12 signs of the zodiac. All these are arranged in a geometrical design composed of 10 Sephiroth numbers and 22 paths joining them. This is called the Tree of Life. Every idea soever can be, and should be, attributed to one or more of these primary symbols. Thus green, in different shades, is a quality or function of Venus, the Earth, the Sea, Libra, and others. So also abstract ideas. Dishonesty means an afflicted Mercury. Generosity a good, though not always strong, Jupiter, and so on. The Tree of Life has got to be learnt by heart. You must know it backwards, forwards, sideways, and upside down. It must become the automatic background of all of your thinking. You must keep on hanging everything that comes your way upon its proper bough. At first, of course, all this is dreadfully confusing, but persist, and a time will come when all the odd bits fit into the jigsaw, and you behold, with adoring wonder, the marvelous beauty and symmetry of the Kabbalistic system. And then, what a weapon you will have forged. What power to analyze, to order, to manipulate your thinking. The book of the law itself insists upon the fact that it contains a Qabalah which was beyond me at the time of its dictation, is beyond me now, and always will be beyond me in this incarnation. Let me direct your spiritual attention at Al 154, 156, 2 verses 54 through 55, 2 verses 76, and 3 verse 47. Now there was enough comprehensible at the time to assure me that the author of the book knew at least as much Qabalah as I did. I discovered subsequently more than enough to make it certain, without error, that he knew a very great deal more, and that of an altogether higher order, than I knew. Finally, such glimmerings of light as time and desperate study have thrown on many other obscure passages, to leave no doubt whatever in my mind that he is indeed the supreme Kabbalist of all time. When you are a real adept at all these well-known calculations, prepare to enter the immeasurable region and dig out the unknown. You must construct your own Qabalah. Nobody can do it for you. What is your own true number? You must find it and prove it to be correct. In the course of a few years, you should have built yourself a palace of ineffable glory, a garden of indescribable delight. Nor time nor fate can tame those tranquil towers, those minarets of music, or fade one blossom in those avenues of perfume. Huh, nasty of me. But it has just struck me that it might be just as well if you made a Sephiroth of your own. What a positively beastly thing to suggest. However, I do suggest it. After all, it's simple enough. Every word you come across, add it up. Stick it down against that number in a book kept for the purpose. That may seem tedious and silly. Why should you do all over again the work that I have already done for you? Reason? Simple. Doing it will teach you Qabalah as nothing else would. Besides, you won't be all cluttered up with words that mean nothing to you. And if it should happen that you want a word to explain some particular number, you can look it up in my Sephiroth. By this method, too, you may strike a rich vein of words of your own that I have altogether missed. No doubt, a really great teacher would have said, beware, use my dictionary and mine alone. All others are bad. But then I'm not a RGT of that kind. For a start, of course, you should put down the words that are bound to come in your way in any case. Numbers like 11, 13, 31, and 37, their multiples, the names of God and the principal angels, the planetary and geomanic names, and your own private and particular name with its branches. After that, let your work on the astral plane guide you. When investigating the name and other words communicated to you by such beings as you meet there or invoke, many more will come up in their proper connections. Very soon, you will have quite a nice little Sephiroth of your very own. Remember to aim above all things at coherence. It is excellent practice, by the way, to do some mental arithmetic on your walks. Acquire the habit of adding up any names that you have come across in your morning's reading. Nietzsche has well observed that the best thoughts come by walking, and it's happened to me more than once or twice that really important correspondences have come as by a flashlight when I was patting the old hoof. You will have noticed that in this curt exposition I have confined myself to gematria, the direct relation of number and word, omitting any reference to Natureken, the accursed art of making words out of initials, like, in profane life, Ren and Gestapo and their horrid brood, or to Tamura, the art of altering the position of the letters in a word, a sort of cipher, for these are almost always frivolous. To base any serious calculations on them would be absurd. Love is the law, love under will, fraternally. P.S. You should study the Equinox, Volume 1, Number 5, The Temple of Solomon the King, for a more elaborate exposition of the Qabalah.